unmute. All right. Let's start seated. Sit up on something high with the legs crossed and grab a bolster between, not the bolster, grab the blocks to support the back of the legs. Morning, Alex. We just started. All right. So cross-legged, comfortable, lengthen through the spine, and then find your rib cage and your collar, your sternum, the breastbone. And when you inhale, lift that chest bone up, tilt the pelvis forward, arch the low back, lift the chin up, look up. When you exhale, push the breastbone into the rib cage, tilt the pelvis back, feel that you rocking back on the pelvis and tuck the chin in. Again, lengthen through the spine, bring the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, and when you lift up through the chest, and when you look up with your inhale, give a little bit of lift to the back of the head. So the back of the neck would lengthen. Exhale, push the breastbone into the rib cage. Keep the hands on the top of the head, tilt the pelvis back around. And when you tuck the chin in with the hands very gently, about 10% of your strength, give it a little push so the chin goes even more towards the throat, not to the chest. Inhale, look up, lift the chest, extend the back of the neck with your hands, have the elbows pointing up, open the heart. We all need that. Exhale and slouch. Really slouch around, pull the belly button in. When you get to the full chin tuck, a very gentle press on the head, very gentle. And then release the hands from the head, lengthen the spine, close your eyes and pretend that someone is pulling your head up by your ears from behind the ear bones. At the same time, move the shoulders down towards your pelvis. Open your eyes, take a slight twist to the right. Inhale and lift the chest bone up again. Look up. Exhale, push the chest bone in, stay in the twist and around. Tilt the pelvis back, put weight on both butt cheeks and keep scooping the belly in. Inhale again, lift up. Look up. Exhale, push the breastbone in. Move the shoulders up to your ears while you tilt in the pelvis back. Re-lengthen the spine. Come through the midline to the other side. Small twist, not your full twist, like 50%. Inhale and lift up. Look up. Lift the chin. Remember, do not shorten the back of the neck. Exhale, push the breastbone in. Let the right shoulder come up towards your right ear. Tilt the pelvis. One more time. Inhale and look up. Exhale and push the breastbone in. Slouch, shoulders up, weight on both heels. Lift the chest. Come on forward. Straighten the legs, scoot off your blanket, and grab your belt. Hook up your feet and sit as tall as you can. Lengthen the arms. Re-lengthen the spine and hinge forward. Think that there is a broomstick behind your back from your sacrum to the low back, to the mid back, to the back of the neck. Tuck in the chin. And then push the right heel forward, pull the left hip back. Bend the right arm and let the right shoulder come towards the right pinky toe. Twist a little bit to the right. Shift the weight from the left butt to the right butt and notice which side gives you more stretch, where the weight is, and just keep the weight right in there. Breathe. Come on through the midline. Keep reaching the chest towards the knees while you come in through the midline. Keep the back straight. Left heel pushes forward, right hip pulls back. Bend the left elbow and let the left shoulder come towards the right pinky toe. Shift the weight from side to side. See which one gives you a little more stretch and stay on there. Do not hold the breath. Come on through the center, re-lengthen the spine and hinge more. The back is still straight for now, for another moment. Then pull the shoulders up, reach the chin forward like a chicken, and then pull the shoulders even higher, tuck in the chin, and roll yourself up, roll yourself down towards your thighs. Maybe you can let the belt go and catch your feet. If not, hang on to the belt. Round, round, around the back. Pull the shoulders up and keep tucking the chin into the throat as we practiced at the very beginning. Tilt the pelvis back while you pull in the shoulders to your ears. That should give you a great stretch through the entire back. Shimmy the weight from side to side. And notice which side gives you more stretch. Stay in there for an extra breath. Then retuck the chin in. Stay in the rounded position. Push your right heel forward, pull the left hip back, just as we did with the straight back. Bend the right elbow. Give yourself a little twist towards the left. Almost looking under the left armpit, maybe even looking under the left armpit. Keep pulling the left hip back. Keep rounding the spine. How much hunchback could you create in here? Shoulders up to the ears. Come on through the center, level the feet and push the left heel forward, pull the right hip back. Bend that right elbow and allow yourself to twist to the right. Round the back again, shift the weight from side to side. Keep the pelvis tucked under, release the head. Come on back through the center, level the feet and fold over completely. Your best fold. Keep the chin tucked in and turn your head from side to side. Almost like gliding your chin from side to side, close to the throat. If you were following a very tight necklace on the base of your neck. Do that a few times, then start nodding very slowly. If you were saying yes, tuck in the chin, all the way in, and then lift the head a little bit with the nods. Do that 3 or 4 times. Once you did it all, notice that you can actually pull yourself more forward. Now, let go of the belt or the hands, just hang in that forward fold position. 5 full breaths, in through the nose if you can, and out through the nose if you can. Expanding through the low back or wherever it feels the tightest. And then with the next inhale, slowly roll the pelvis back, roll the lower back up, mid back, upper back, shoulder comes all the way up. Take the arms out to the side, turn the palms up, and reach really, really long. If someone was pulling your arms back up to the ceiling, then just reach the right arm and reach the left arm. If you are reaching for something really high on the shelf, right arm, left arm. Both arms, and lift the breastbone up and turn the palms away from each other and press down. If you were pressing an imaginary weight down, reach long and press down through the fingers, through the palm. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Tuck in the chin, roll the shoulders, keep the chin tucked in, up, back, and down. Level the chin with the floor, shoulders up, back, and down, and then lift the chin, shoulders up, back, and down. And you could feel with the 3 different head position how the shoulder got opened or how the shoulder got closed up. So remember that during your daily activities. Head position matters for shoulder mobility. Take the left leg out to the side and bring the right leg into a half butterfly. Turn the left palm up and then find the left palm and reach it somewhere along the bottom of the back of the left leg. Externally rotate that left shoulder. If the arm is not reaching to the bottom because the shoulder is closed or injured, put the forearm on the top of the leg. The right hand is going to gently press down and long on the right thigh, and you reach your body, you lean your body to the left. Take this right arm up and give me a side bend to your left. Any shoulder issues, bend the arm and release the hand, release the arm on the head. Any neck issues, create a cradle with your hand and support the head. Bring your attention to your right sit bone, press it down. And while you're pressing the right sit bone up, can you turn the chest up to the ceiling? Release the right hand for a moment. Take it directly under the left armpit. Reach back and grab your rib cage. Turn it up to the ceiling. And once you cannot rotate anymore, retake this right arm up and long and maybe support the head. The chest bone is looking up to the ceiling. The right sit bone is pressing down. And the breath is coming through the right side of the body. From the right hip, right waistline, right armpit, wherever it feels the tightest. Anytime you feel that you tipped to the left, bring the weight back onto the right sit bone. One more breath. Then reach the right arm long. Reach it up to the ceiling, all the way up, long, long, long. And then bring it down behind you. Take the left hand on the top of the right knee. Throat is directly over the tailbone. Lift the chest and turn your body to the right. You ground it through the right fingertips and through the left hand on the right knee. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, slouch in. One more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, slouch in. Come on through the midline. Change the legs. Switch the legs. Right leg out, left leg comes in. If at any point the hips or the knees hurt, don't hesitate to use a block or a cushion under that left knee. Right palm turns up. Externally rotate the right arm and find wherever you can catch under the right leg. If you cannot, right forearm comes onto the right thigh. Left hand is going to press down and away long, leaning the body to the right. Stay for a moment. Then take the left arm out, reach long, up and over to a full stretch. Notice right away that we want to tip to the right, so put the left sit bone back on the floor. Again, left shoulder issues, bend the arm, release the arm on the head. Neck issues, cradle the head. Turn the chest up to the ceiling. And if you smart, when you use your right elbow to push into the right thigh, that will help with the twist. Then release this left hand, take it behind the right shoulder blade, turn the rib cage up, and then take the arm up and over again, and maybe support the head, maybe not. Find the left sit bone and put it back on the floor. Breathe into the left side of the body. Your left kidneys, your spleen is going to be really happy with this newly created space. The organs in the midsection need some space too. Then slowly reach the left arm up, lengthen the spine. Reach, reach, reach. Once your throat is directly over the tailbone, you turn your body, right hand on the top of the left knee, left arm behind you. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, slouch in till the pelvis back, pull the shoulders up. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, breastbone in till the pelvis back. Weight is evenly distributed on both sit bones. Come on through a tall spine and swing yourself back to the middle. Bring the legs back, hands behind you. Bend the knees, feet on the floor. Take your legs to the right, windshield wiper. Let the left sit bone come off the floor. Come through the middle, take your legs to the left. Come on through the midline, through the center, drop the legs to the right. Keep the right leg where it is. Windshield wiper out of sync. Open the left side of the hip just by bringing the left leg to the center and opening up. At certain point, the groin muscles don't let you go any further. So once that happens, tip the pelvis, bring the right leg up, and join the left leg. Left leg stays. Right leg initiates the movement. Go slow so you can feel when that happens. Then rock on the sacrum, bringing the legs back to the right. Come on back through the middle. Have the heels on the floor, toes off, flex the foot. Legs to the right, through the center, to the left, through the center, to the right. Have your ankles flexed. Keep the right leg where it is. Open up the hip with the ankles flexed. Once it doesn't go any further, tip pelvis, join with the right leg. Still, the ankles are flexed. Left leg stays. Right start opening. Tipping pelvis all the way. Ankles are still engaged. And both legs back to the middle. Shake that out. Bring the heels a tiny bit closer. Easy on the hips, easy on the knees. Lift your toes and lift your heels. The only part of the foot is touching is the ball of the foot. Take your legs to the right. Keep the heels off the floor. Both legs to the center. Both legs to the left. Back to the center. Now, both legs to the right. Heel stays off the floor. Left hip opens. You roll on the ball of the foot. Toes and heels are not touching. And then join with the other leg. Watch your knees, watch your hips. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. Windshield wiper out of sync. One leg goes first. Then rocking through the sacrum, both legs. Come on back to the middle. Straighten the legs, shake the legs. Point the toes if you were pressing on the gas pedal and the whatever clutch. And then flex the foot, push through the heels. Reach with the big toes, open up the front of the ankle, and then reach through the inner heel. Now this time reach through the pinky toes, and then flex the foot, reach through the outer heels. Point the toes again, roll your both legs to the right. So the right leg is externally rotating, the left leg is internally rotating. Bring the left hand across, place it onto the floor, lift the chest up, and swipe the left leg behind you. Turn the left leg more in, so the top of the foot is on the floor. Create some space around you and come on down onto your forearms. Your left hip bone is turning towards the floor, towards the right inner thigh. Here is some movement. Inhale, arch the low back, look up, try to lift the breastbone up to the ceiling. Exhale, push the breastbone into the rib cage, drop the chin, let the head hang. Inhale again, lift. Exhale, breastbone in. Let's do one more of that. Inhale up. Exhale, all spine, not just the upper back. We usually see that the upper back is moving. Can you scoop the belly button up so the low back would arch, low back would round, just like the upper back? And then slowly to the straight spine, Hands come under the shoulder. Keep reaching through this left foot until, and rotate it upwards to an external rotation until you're kind of sit back onto the sacrum again. Flex that foot. You should feel a good stretch in the groin, and maybe your glute medius or piriformis is cramping if the hips are tight. We'll fix that. Bring the leg back to the midline, shake the legs. Both legs as one unit, no knee bend, turning to the left. Right hand comes over, have some space around you. Keep turning the hip, and once you turned over, come on down onto the forearm and swipe the right leg behind you. Turn the right foot, the top of the right foot towards the floor. Find the right pelvic bone and rotate it down towards the floor. Inhale and lift the chest and the breastbone, arch the low back. Exhale, push the belly button in around the upper back, pull the shoulders up to your ears and release the head. 2 more times. Inhale, everything lifts and arches. Exhale, everything down and rounds. 1 more time. Unsqueeze the buttocks in the meantime. Inhale and lift, arch. Easy on the neck. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Now find a neutral spine, arms are wide. You lift your elbows, and you're going to start to reach in through that right foot while you're pushing yourself back up to seated. Externally rotate the right leg, and once you sit on your right sit bone, this right leg is completely straight, the foot is flexed. Swipe the leg back to the midline and shake the legs for a moment. Water break. So today is a zigzag sequence. Make sure that you have some support on each side. We're not going to need the belt anymore. You can push that away. We might need the blocks. So first position is right knee is bent in front of you. The shin is parallel to the front of your mat. Left leg is coming behind you. And first, we'll just push the left thigh as far back, first of all, as your body allows. Second, as far back as the knee feels safe. Look at your left shin. The left shin should be parallel to the side of your mat. If the right shin is parallel to the front of the mat and the left shin is parallel to the side of the mat, and your body is completely leaned to the right side, so you can't lift the arms, that's where you grab your second blanket and place it under your right booty. If you still tip in over to the right, slide the left knee a little bit higher so you can sit tall without having any arm support. Tilt the pelvis forward. If your pelvis is a bucket of water, you would spill the water forward, tilt it back. Tilt it forward, tilt it back. One more time, tilt it forward, and this time come and bring the hands onto the floor. Keep the props close by. See how easy or how hard this is. I would like you to create a more forward movement by walking the fingers forward and bringing the forearms onto the floor. If the forearms do not touch, this is when you grab your blocks. And if that is too much, maybe even a bolster across the blocks could be a solution. If you're somewhere a little lower, you just find a proper height on the blocks where we could stay. The first part of the pose is going to be a little movement, but before we move the spine, see if you can find your left knee and reach the left knee away from the left front hip to get a little more stretch in the inner groins. Be sensible. We don't want to snap anything in the groin area. And then come back to your spine. Inhale and lift the chest. Tilt the sit bones towards the ceiling. Exhale, push the chest bone in and around the whole back. Pull the shoulders up to your ears. One more time. Inhale, come on through like a snake emerging all the way up before they grab the prey. Been watching too many movies. And then, or not enough. Round the back, round, 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 tuck the chin in. And we're gonna come forward one more time, a little bit of a lift, finding a neutral spine, and then fully surrendering. Maybe the spinal movement allowed you to come a little forward down. This is going to be a longer held position. So this should not be a muscular hold. This should be a surrender. Anything that you need to do to be able to hold and relax into this position. You might need to come back on the blocks. You might just felt, if I have to hold this for a minute or a little longer, that would not be comfortable. This should be an I'm easing in and there are no obstacles. Check with the knees, check with the hips, check with the neck. Slow breath in, slow breath out. What else can you soften? Notice how the belly is landing on the thigh. Next time you inhale, inflate the lower belly and push the lower belly into the right thigh without squeezing the buttocks. Exhale, pull the belly button up, up, up. Scoop it up and notice that you can actually come a little lower after you did that. If you'd like, you do it a couple of more times. If not, just hold the position. Think of nothing else, just scanning the body. You could think of the breath. No outside thoughts should be penetrating your brain right now. Check with the body what feels good, what doesn't feel good. Do I need to shift the pelvis? Do I need to move my jaw? Do I need to unsqueeze my butt? A lot of different options. 3 more full breath. To slide your hands under the shoulders and very slowly lift your torso. Keep the legs where they are for now. Lift the torso straight and see if you can bring your throat directly over your tailbone. Give me a little twist towards the right. Notice when you twist, the left leg wants to slide forward. Can you keep the left thigh where it is? Internally rotate the top of the thigh, tilt the waistline to the right, tilt the midsection to the right, and tilt the armpit to the right. And then walk your hands down onto the floor or onto the support system. Notice if the left knee wants to scoot forward. Can you keep it where it is? The left butt is off the floor. The right sit bone has the whole weight. Can I create more space between the right hip and the left armpit? Can I fully surrender into this position? Letting the shoulders hike up is okay. Letting the chin and the head drop is okay. Just breathe. Gentle jaw movement is always fun. Maybe some nodding. Maybe some turning the head from side to side. very slowly. Bring the palms under the shoulders so you can push yourself up, lifting the chest, stay in the twist. Then slowly bring in the chest back towards the center. And while you bring in the chest back towards the center, can you reach the left knee away from the left hip, getting more stretch in the groins? Stay for a second and then lift off the blanket on the right. Lean back and slide and glide your left knee forward. Could you bring the legs in a way that the left knee is actually going to touch the bottom of the right foot, and lean back if you were sitting on a beach. Hands are behind you, fingertips facing towards the back of your mat. Bend the elbows slowly. Externally rotate the upper arms, lift the chest up and straighten up through the arms. Lift, 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 open up the chest. Stay here for a minute. Not for a minute, just for a breath or two. With the chest open, with the front of the shoulders open. And then soften the elbows again, tuck in the chin. Be going backwards. So I'd like you to start, maybe already prep a blanket for under the head. Bring the hands behind you and soften the elbows. So first you could come down onto your forearms. And maybe this is the position where you're gonna be. Maybe you grab a bolster and place it under the back so you can actually stay in this position. If you want more hip openers, we're going to have to go all the way back to open up the front and the inside of the left hip and the front of the right hip. So you decide, do I want to go all the way down? If you decided to go all the way down and you decide it's not good, come on back on your elbows or on your hands. The tighter the hip is, the left knee is going to point up. I need you to listen to your body, because if you stay low and you keep keeping the knee low and the hip is tight, you're going to injure your knee. So please listen to your body. Coming up to the elbows or on a prop is not a decision that shows that you're weak, it's a decision that shows you that you are smart. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Gonna be a minute holding here. Long inhales, long exhales, finding the areas that are tight. How can I expand my pelvic floor? How can I expand my lower belly? That would help to release the tension from the lower back. How can I expand my upper back, my jaw? Can I expand the area under the armpits when I inhale? Just think of creating space with each inhale. Couple of more breaths. Whatever position you are in, we all gonna find a way to come up to seated. Right leg is going to stay where it is. The left leg is going to straighten out to the side, and we stay on the inside of the foot. The toes are pointing forward. A good support on the right hand, maybe a block if the hand is not touching the floor. And then we're going to externally rotate that left leg. And while we externally rotate it, we're pushing the heel away. Eventually, the booty is going to get on the floor on the left, and you feel a good stretch through the inside of that left leg. Keep the foot in a flexed position. Internally rotate the whole leg as one unit. The left butt cheek is coming off the floor. and then externally rotate the leg. While you externally rotating, you pushing the heel already towards, away from the left front hip. Lengthen the spine, and now both sit bones are on the floor. We hold this position for 3 breaths. The tighter the groins are, the more the knee is gonna pop up. Please do not push it down forcefully. You could place the hand in there, and just the weight of the hand will give you enough support. Think of constantly lengthening out through the left heel, and constantly lengthening out, not down, out from that right knee. Breathe. And then glide that left leg back to the midline. Have the legs in the center and shake them out. Maybe point the toes, flex and extend the ankles. Maybe do a couple of circles in both directions, just to realign everything in the feet, in the ankles. And these positions on the other side. Let's bring the props to the front. Left leg is going to be bent and is going to be in the front. Left shin is parallel to the front of your mat. Right leg is going to be bent. Right hip is extended. The right shin is going to be parallel to the floor, meaning that your right heel is not in your buttocks. Once you have that position, if you tip in to the left, this is where your blanket comes in under, just under the left buttocks. Notice if your left heel scooted inside to the groins, take it further away so the shin is parallel to the floor. Make sure that there is no discomfort in any of the knees or no numbness or tingling happening. Tilt the pelvis forward if it was a bucket of water. Tilt the pelvis back, forward, back. And the next forward tilt, we're gonna bring the hands onto the floor, over that left shin. Once you have that, you already know how much support you will need to round over the left shin. Use as much height as you need. Once you find the position, we'll do a tiny bit of movement, thoracic spine, arching the low back, lifting the breastbone up, looking up, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, pushing the breastbone into the rib cage, letting the shoulders glide up to the ears, tucking the tailbone under. Again, inhale, lift the chest, tip the pelvis forward, look up. Exhale, pull belly button in, shoulders up, round. Come into an arch again, lengthening the spine forward. And before you go a little lower, can you reach the right leg, right knee away from the right front hip, feeling some more stretch in the groins? And then the movement probably opened up the spine so we could come to your lowest position, releasing the head completely, and no more movement, is just a surrender. This pose might not look the same as it was on the other side. Do not worry about it. Find the optimal position on this side. Let the body relax into that. Find the breath, long inhales and long exhales. Bring your attention to, stay down, bring your attention to your right knee and see if you can slide that right knee a little further away from the right hip, front hip, just to get a little more stretch in the groins on the right. Unsqueeze your buttocks and relax the pelvic floor. Elongate your exhales. And then very slowly, the operative word is slowly, roll your torso up. And once you roll in the torso up, can I slide that right knee a little more forward away so I can get a little more stretch in the groins. Turn your torso over to the left. Bring your props with you. This side feels a little tighter, so my forward fold is not going to be that much. Go slowly. Watch for a second. If I just go quick, you might want to look up for a second. If I go quick and I'm tight, the right leg is going to come forward. So I would like to keep that full stretch on the front of the right hip. Internally rotate the right thigh. That's going to rotate my belly, midsection, armpit. Then I can fully rotate the whole spine and come down, maybe on the props, maybe no props needed. Again, notice if that right knee is scooting forward. We don't want to do that. You can feel how the belly is on the top of the left thigh. Inhale and inflate the belly. Push the belly into the left thigh. And when you exhale, pull the belly button up and see if you can turn the belly towards the ground. Could keep doing that a couple of more times. It's all soft, it's all gentle, instead of push, push, push. It's more like, let's try, explore. And if it's only muscular effort, maybe I do it once and then see if I can soften into that same action. Let's take one more breath. And then slowly start bringing the hands under you. You stay in the twist, lift the torso. And once you start turning the chest and the whole upper body back towards the center, you reach in through that right heel again to open up the groin area. Then scoot off from the blanket on the left. Bring the right knee forward and have the right knee meeting the bottom of the left foot. Lean back. I'm on the beach, somewhere nice and sunny at 82 degrees, not in Boston at 29. And then we decide how far we want to go down. Could I soften the elbows and drop myself onto the elbows? Is this something that I want to stay here? Or is this something I don't like and I need to come back higher or grab in the bolster and place it under the elbows? A step forward would be going all the way down back onto the floor. Well, now I could do that on the other side, but this side is certainly not going to let me do that, and I'm not going to force myself into it. So tightness on the inside rotation, tightness on the hip flexors on this right side and on the low back. Maybe sacrum doesn't want me to go any further. I could easily force, well, not easily, I could force myself into it. And probably 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I would have. Now I'm a little more forgiven sometimes. So I'm not going to go there. If this is your better side, by all means, go ahead, all the way down. Breathe. Staying up is fine. It doesn't make you a bad person. You cannot really do wrong in the yin practice as long as you listen to your own body. Doesn't matter what the other people looks like on the screen. Doesn't matter what I look like on the screen. This is your practice. About one more breath. Then anywhere you are, very slowly, make your way up to seated, and then start straightening the right leg in a way that the right hip, right knee, right ankle in a straight line. Ankle is flexed, and you're going to push away on that right leg. Can you externally rotate the whole leg as one unit? Flex the ankle, push through the heel, and let the right sit bone end up on the floor. And this is so tight, it just shifted forward. So please listen to your body. We're going to internally rotate the leg again as one unit. Let the right butt cheek come off the floor. Feel that little twist. And one more time, externally rotate the whole leg. Lock the knee, push through the heel, push the whole leg long. Bring the right sit bone onto the floor. Breathe. And then slowly lean so you can bring the leg all the way to the middle. Straighten both legs, lean back, and chill for a few seconds. Just bend the knees. This was quite a lot. Roll the legs, maybe ankle circles or figure eight with the ankles. Just bend the knees and straighten them. Just really relax all muscles, all tendons, all joints around the whole leg. All right. You're going to have a wide stance with a forward fold. Like a full seated frog. Hint, hint, something might be coming a little later on. So I would suggest to sit up on something so you can sit on the edge of the blanket and tilt the pelvis forward. Can you straighten your knees and externally rotate both thighs, flex the foot and push through the heel? It should feel that you sit directly in front of the sit bones, not on the sit bone. Almost like your pelvis is already tilted forward, like a fixed in a forward bucket position. Then lift the chest up and lengthen forward. Bring the hands down onto the floor. Soften the knees, soften the ankles. Pull the shoulders up, tuck in the chin. Come up on the fingertips and walk your fingers like a spider forward, pulling the shoulders up to your ears, pulling the shoulders up to the ears, rounding and folding forward, and finding some kind of height, any height. You could flip the blocks all the way up. You could prop the bolster on the top of the blocks. Full forward fold. First, just soften into it. Then notice the stretch, maybe through the groins, maybe through the mid-knee, maybe through the shin. Remember how we moved the sacroiliac joint at the beginning of the session with the belt. We're going to do the same thing with the legs out to the side without the belt. Mostly focus on the right heel and pretend that someone is grabbing your right heel and pulls that right leg out from your right hip socket. So push through that right heel. While you're doing that, pull the left thigh bone inside the left hip. Then release and switch. It's a tiny movement, maybe a millimeter, quarter of an inch. Push through the left heel, pull the right thigh bone in. Couple of more times. Push through the right heel, pull the left thigh bone in, and push through the left heel, pull the right thigh bone in. And then relax both, soft knees, soft ankles. Check your forward fold. Tuck in the chin, shoulders up to your ears, and breathe. Check on your glute muscles. Check on your groins. Soft muscles, soft space. Three more breaths. Keep tucking the chin into the throat to constantly lengthen the back of the neck. Then very slowly keep the chin tucked in. Bring the hands close to your groins, palms on the floor. Push yourself up, keep the chin tucked in, keep the chin tucked in until you come up, and then lengthen the back of the neck. Pretend that you have a ponytail and someone is pulling your head up towards the ceiling by that ponytail. Full length through the neck. Release the shoulders down while the top of the head, the crown of the head is still reaching towards the ceiling. And slowly release. Neck stretches are so important for the next few months. You know, this morning I was bundled up in this very, very cold weather with the jacket, with the scarf, with the mask, with the hat, with the shoulder bag, and I find myself, you know, completely disappearing through my neck. Like, wow, that is not good. So a lot of length and neck stretches for the winter. Bring the legs together. All right. So I almost gave away the next pose before we started this one. Some of you already guessed, we're going to go into a frog position. And this needs a little more prepping than everything else. You will need your blanket or cushions to support your knees. We're going to be kneeling for a while in quite a wide legged position. So take a moment and create your support for the knees. I'm going to be sideways so you can see me. And I also have another blanket for my feet. Since I'm on a hardwood floor, I don't know what you are on. Could be, you know, could go both ways. So you come onto your knees. Have the knees wide as you can. Have the pelvis directly in line with the knees, not forward, not backwards. And then you're just going to come down onto your forearms. Just like that. First, just with a straight back, look behind between your legs. And then if you can see your heels, I need you to move the feet further out. And once you move the feet further out, flex the ankles, and the right foot is pointing towards the front of the mat, depending on which side you are on. All toes are pointing away from the body. Now, slowly move the body forward and move the body back. The back foot movement is going to be much harder. Slowly forward, that's a smaller movement. Little more effort with the back movement. Please listen to your body and do not snap your groins. One more time forward and then back. Hold that on the way back. Find all of your glutes and pelvic floor muscles. Squeeze the buttocks 5 times. If you were winking, somebody behind you. Go slow, big squeeze, notice the changes, and then release. Then see if you can push the buttocks back a little more. Hold that. Squeeze the right buttocks. Only the right glutes activate 5 times. And now the left glutes. Notice the difference between the strength and the motor control, how well you can control the movement. Body forward, backwards. Keep doing that a few times gently. Come on forward, round the whole back, tuck the tailbone in, and then push the booty back that way. Chin is tucked in. Both butt cheeks squeeze 5 times. Notice which one initiate the movement. Notice which one is stronger when you do a double. And then just the right butt cheek 5 times. Left butt cheek 5 times. Breathe, body forward, backwards. Just sway in a very small range of motion. Then push the booty back as far as you can go. Again, we stay in here a little longer, so please do not go to your 100%. Look at your right foot. Look at your right knee. The right knee is your fulcrum. Can you internally rotate the right thigh so you would lift the right foot up towards the ceiling? 3 times. Take it back. Look at your left leg, left heel. Left knee is a fulcrum. Left leg lifts by the internal rotation. The lift of the left leg, left foot, is a byproduct of the internal rotation of the left thigh. Now look straight forward, and guess what? You're going to try to do both at the same time without shifting the pelvis forward. Think of internally rotating both legs. And then push the pelvis back. Notice that opening. Keep the knees where they are. Slide the heels towards you. So when you look between your legs, now you can see your heels. Take the pelvis back just a little bit. Give me 5 more glute squeeze through both buttocks. 5 with the right butt cheek. Go slow, and whenever you squeeze that right glute, you're going to feel a stretch on the left groin. And whenever you activate the left buttocks, the right inner thigh, the right groin muscle has to stretch. It gets into a pulled position. Then very slowly bring the hands under the shoulders. Arch the low back, look up like a puppy. Exhale around the back, tuck the chin in like an angry cat. One more time. Look up, arch the low back, send the sit bones high like a puppy. Exhale, try to round the back. And then put some weights on the hand and bring the knees together. Oh, you're welcome. Stay on both knees for another moment. Hands on the hips. Give me 3 circles through the hips and 3 through the opposite direction. Great. Come on down onto your belly. Just a little prone windshield wiper in here. Don't worry, we're almost done with we're done with the hard poses. Forehead comes onto the forearms. Elongate the legs first, then bend the knees, point the toes up to the ceiling. Have the knees about hip width apart, toes point up. Give me 3 windshield wipers in sync. Legs go together. Let the legs keep the heels closer to the buttocks, so when you do the rotation with the legs, you're not straightening the legs at all. Now flex the feet, push through the heel, windshield wipers in sync. Drop the legs from side to side. Come on back to the middle, point the toes again, drop the legs to the right, keep the right leg where it is, open up just the left leg with it seated, so out of sync windshield wiper. Once the left leg cannot go any further, join with the right, both legs to the left leg stays, right leg opens, and both legs to the right. Come through the midline, flex the foot, both legs to the right leg stays, left hip opens up, focus on the ankle flexion. Then the right leg joins, both legs to the left, flex the ankles, left leg stay, right leg opens, and then join with the left, back to center, straighten the legs. Come up on your forearms, elbows directly under the shoulders. Lift your chest. Look a couple of feet in front of you. Try not to arch the low back. Pull the belly button in. So shimmy in the weight, put in some weight onto the forearms and the elbows. What could be your back extension? Try not to think upward movement with the lumbar spine, but more of an up and forward, pulling the chest between the arms. Then release that tension. Keep the right elbow on the ground as a pivot point and pivot to your right arms and forearm out to the right side. Spread those fingers, lift the right elbow, lock the elbow, and push yourself away from that arm. The right hip bone comes off the floor. Then lock the elbow, plug that right arm back into the socket, keep the elbow locked, and try to turn the pelvis down to the floor against that resistance of the shoulder. This should not be comfortable. Then rebend the right elbow, spin the right arm back. Same thing on the left. Left elbow is the fulcrum, left arm comes to the side with the fingers spread. Lift the left forearm, push your body away from that left hand, lock the left elbow, lock the left shoulder, and turn the left hip down. And then bend the elbow, come on back. Inhale and lift up, and notice how your back bend feels. It should feel higher, freer. One breath. Lower the chest, bring the arms under the shoulders, and push back to child's pose. Your version of child's pose, knees are wide, feet together. Shoulder is healthy, arms are to the front. Shoulder is not healthy, arms down by your side. Knees are not too good today. Keep the booty higher. Knees are good. Take the buttocks down. Give me a little twist to the left by threading the right arm under the left armpit. Just a breath. Through the center. Other side twist. Back to the midline. 3 breaths in child's pose. And slowly come on all the way up. Swing the legs around you. And if you do have a bolster, bring that to the bottom of your mat, to the front of your mat. And if you don't, just roll up a blanket or a towel so you can have something to place the legs on. Another blanket will come to support the head. You want to position yourself in a way that your heels are off the floor, the lower leg is supported, and the back of the neck is long and the head is supported. Just let your spine settle. If your low back still feels tight, bend your knees, put the feet on the bolster, wide feet, and knock the knees together. You could do this on the floor if you do not have any props. You could also choose to bring the feet together and drop the knees out to the side to a butterfly. Sometimes it feels really, really good to have this position for Shavasana, but I do have to tell you that this is going to tighten up the low back. For the tight low back, the best position is knees bent, feet apart and knees together, or the legs straight. The butterfly always tightens up the back. Once you find your position, bring the palms together and start rubbing your hands until you feel some heat in there. Then once you have the heat, make a little cup with your palms and cup over the eye socket. Feel that heat. Notice how nice is that to cover the eyes and just hide from this world. The heat will go away, but if you want to keep your hiding position, just keep the arms in there. If that is not pleasant, arms down onto the belly or down by your side. And from here, there is nothing else you have to do for the practice. Let your body be heavy with each inhale and light with each exhale.